that's the first hell and back where as long as I make it to the end, I don't care. I don't care what the Jeep looks like afterwards. Now, like I rolled 2 Jeeps in 6 months. The last time go around 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
I'm like over it.
I called it too.
You're on a roll. It's going to happen one more time.
I think if you count it as Flex Rocks and Rollovers, it's been 3 already. Andrew, Marvin.
That's what it was.
If you count it that way. But...
Yeah, that's the way we're gonna count it. It's positive energy.
In this video, you're getting an exclusive inside look of what it takes to finish the world's toughest trail ride. Learn about the drivers, their vehicles, and tools they're bringing in order to finish the 24 Hell and Back Trail Challenge.
The Cherokee wouldn't start, so I brought the Bouncer instead. Dead battery.
I would say unload, and trailer parking is, you see my big orange trailer all the way in the back, that's trailer parking.
Okay. Can we leave the rigs here tonight?
Yeah, everything's safe.
Okay.
Getting locked up, nobody gets on here. Power tank coming in clutch. We got Brandon over here with a little bit low air pressure, I would say. So we're gonna fix that issue really quick. Hey Bob, I think you need to take Alicia for a ride on the couch. Dude, we walked the trails today. Yeah. Holy dude, like
I've seen
seriously.
The pictures and the videos.
No, they don't do it justice. Yeah? Not even close, dude. I was a little bit worried about it because I kind of based this whole park off recommendations from people that I trust. Then watching the videos, I'm like, yeah, it looks cool, but it's like, yeah, I don't know. But like Rugged Mountain Ranch was the same way, you know, like Rugged Mountain, the videos never did it
Last
justice.
time I brought a knife to gunfight, this time I brought fully automatic. So I'm ready.
There are a few climbs, man, where I don't even know if I can put tires on it.
Yeah?
Like, yeah.
Enormous boulders, mud, trees, extremely steep climbs, and very tight trails. We are at the Field and Forest Recreation Area in Harrisville, New Hampshire, a 100-acre privately owned off-road park that is one of America's best hidden secrets for extreme off-road adventures. Fairy tale-like landscapes that turn into hell when it gets dark. A true challenge for man and machine.
All right, what we have behind us is a natural boulder in the wild, all right? You look over my shoulder, you can see how dangerous it really is.
This is the furthest north I've ever been. So
Me too.
Yeah.
north or west, like even West Coast, I
This
haven't been this
so
far
this
north.
Is south. This is South New Hampshire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a long way up here. Sure.
How many hours?
20. Well,
20's not bad.
that's how long it was supposed to take us. We only busted 1 tire on the way here. The tread decided it wanted to like make a detour on part of it. So we're driving down the road and like it's not vibrating or anything, but I'm sitting there and I'm just watching like as it spins, it's going like this.
We ordered pizza for everybody while we're starting to do interviews. People are talking about their vehicles, their gear, all that kind of stuff. First of all, huge shout out to all of our sponsors for hooking us up with one of the coolest swag bags that we've ever had. There's really, the swag game with Hell and Back this year is on point. We got a bag of geared coffee in there. I don't know if you guys are coffee drinkers.
Oh yeah.
The Hell and Back shirt is for tomorrow. And also this jacket, also for tomorrow.
This is mine.
We have a little bit something special coming tomorrow morning. But
Oh, okay.
here's that for now.
Leah Hockman, I'm from Winchester, Virginia. We brought my rear steer moon buggy. I'm most excited about wheeling somewhere new I haven't been before that's going to put me outside of my comfort zone.
Leah's so-called moon buggy is a purpose-built rock crawler made for slow technical crawling. Low, light to the ground, and rear steer make it agile and very easy to maneuver.
I think 24 hours is going to prove to be difficult right around 4 a.m. I think I was invited to Hell and Back because Marvin knows I like to have a good time.
I would rather ask for forgiveness than permission, okay?
Nope, you're wrong.
You're wrong.
Nope.
That's harassment.
And it's on camera.
Yeah, see? Boom.
My name is Mcinerny. I'm from Washington State. I brought my 97 LJ. I've pushed myself in the Pacific Northwest as much as I feel I can. I think it was time to test out what the East Coast has got to offer.
Mac is used to the sloppy Pacific Northwest wheeling. His skinny pedal is his best friend and his worst enemy at the same time. His stretched Magnum V8 powered TJ is long and wide.
Most people that know me know I have a tendency to send it. I usually wheel for the day, not for the weekend, so I kind of have a problem with that. So my biggest thing for preparing was bringing my partner Alicia, because she has a tendency, she can put me back in my place and tell me to calm it down. And when I need to winch, I'll winch.
We got some candy to keep us going, some Slim Jims, some Mountain Dews, you know, Gatorades, the whole deal, waters, just stuff to keep us going on the trail.
John Tillman from Wentzville, Missouri. I brought a 2011 Jeep JKU. Marvin always knows every time we go anywhere, we're trying our hardest to make it and put on a good show. What am I most worried about? Obviously, any kind of breakage that we may not be able to fix. Hope everything holds together.
John and his Jeep are Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Once he gets behind the wheel, he turns into a madman. He has done 24 hell and back before in 2020 where he broke.
I'm excited about trying to make it the full 24 hours. I have been in one of these before. We made it really close to the end and it was a lot of work to get there. We're hoping it's a little more smooth sailing. I know this park's supposed to be really hardcore. We'll see how it goes.
So you've got the laptop hooked up, you've got the device plugged into the OBD port. The next thing you're gonna need ignition power on.
Yeah.
You know, we can just do it engine off for now, just so
Right.
you get a feel for how to do it. So if you have the ignition on, and then our VCM scanner software has to be open.
Yep, it is.
Well, I have a wonderful electronic invention I want you to see. It looks something like this.
Now you see all the live data that the engine is giving us in the VCM scanner tool from HV Tuners. The next thing that we can do now is make sure it's not throwing any codes, and that's just a click of a button. It's super simple. There's a check engine light back here. We click on that, and then say read DTCs. No DTCs detected. My name is Marvin Stammel, the owner of Flex Rocks and Rollovers. I'm from Atlanta, Georgia, and I brought my 1973 Jeepster Commando.
Marvin's Hemi-powered 1973 Jeepster Commando just got a new motor that's freshly rebuilt after a bad rollover earlier this year. This is the first time out since then, and the motor still isn't quite broken in yet. Not the best circumstances to take 24 hours of driving on the absolute limit.
24 Hell and Back is kind of a Flex Rocks and Rollover signature event, basically inviting some of the most baddest rigs and coolest drivers in the country and put them into the hardest trails in the United States. We're trying to mix it up every year, visit a different park every single year in a different part of the country. Last year was in Arizona, this year is in New Hampshire. We're trying to keep the contrast to a previous year as crazy as possible. This is year number 4 now, so let's see what New Hampshire has in store for us. I think you're gonna have a field day here, dude, seriously. Like some of the hill climbs here, man, are crazy. And then the gnarly tight rock sections, you're maybe struggling a little bit more than others because you're long. Yeah. But you'll make up for it on a lot of other stuff.
Got a couple straps, winch remote, air pressure gauge, so I'll make sure rock bouncers actually do air down. At least I do. And then I pretty much have every tool in here to completely take this buggy apart, put it back together, flashlight, we're gonna be riding at night. So pretty much it. Should be all we need, I hope. My name is Matt Myrick. I am with Busted Knuckle Off-Road, and I brought my 2021 Busted Knuckle Off-Road rock bouncer.
A long wheelbase, 43-inch tires, full tube chassis, and big horsepower turn Matt's Busted Knuckle Off-Road rock bouncer into a hill-killing monster. It eats up steep climbs and big rock ledges for breakfast. But how will it perform in tight, technical rock sections?
First hell and back I went in a Polaris Razor 4-seater on portals, had a blast, so much so that they picked on me and talked me into bringing my JK to the second one on 39s, and everybody else had huge tires, tube chassis, and I struggled. This time, I'm ready to party. Brought Trump with us. He's our shipping guy in the shipping department at the shop, so let him come out and have some fun. Wheel his Toyota. He's worked very hard on the last few weeks to get ready for this. Like, that thing's just about completely been rebuilt.
Name's Brendan Trump from Coleman, Alabama. I brought my 1983 Toyota pickup. Most excited about just being here in general. I've been dreaming about stuff like this my whole life, and it's an honor to be here and really just here to see what this truck will do against some 42s and some links and coils and some really bad rigs.
He's here to make the Toyota boys proud. 4 propane-powered cylinders, a fury. Leaf springs, lightweight, and a long wheelbase. Brendan and his dad are here to party.
I think I'm invited because I'm not afraid to smash stuff and give it what it takes to get through a trail.
That's probably the exact reason. Yeah.
Carry a bunch of basic hand tools enough to fix a couple small little things on the trail. Of course, recovery gear, nice snatch block, tool pouch usually, which has got just about everything to fix any kind of basic repairs, extra fire extinguisher. You got a cooler as well, that kind of pops right off. Everything's right there, pretty much easily accessible.
My name's Zach Capaldo. I'm from Thomaston, Connecticut, and this is my bent fab. It's an Evo 3R wagon. It's pretty much a full 4800 spec race car.
Zach's buggy is pretty much a race car with a cooler. A hybrid between a go-fast endurance racer and a rock crawler. A true all-arounder. Garage built and race proven. The only real threat that can keep him from conquering hell is his heavy right foot.
What am I most worried about? I'm not too sure. Just keeping the rig together to make it the whole 24 hours. I don't think it'll really have any issues. I just gotta try and not beat it down too hard, but you know, that's probably gonna happen anyways.
It looks like he's coming, he just doesn't want to say he's coming, so like that's why we got him as a replacement.
Oh, okay.
So, but he canceled on me yesterday officially, and then I invited him, and then this morning he was like, man, there's light at the end of the tunnel, I think I can make it.
My name's Chris Oshawa. I'm from Templeton, Massachusetts, and I brought this Jake. I was invited to 24 Hell and Back as a fill-in because someone bailed, and the bailed person ended up coming, so now there's one extra.
Chris will show you what a daily driven JKU can do if you build it right. This thing is a sheep in wolf's clothing. 40-inch tires, 1-ton axles, off-the-shelf suspension, and some upgraded steering are his only major modifications.
This is a 3-week-old Jeep. I just got this one. I got rid of my tube chassis and I traded it for a Jeep. So we're going to see what happens to the body on it. It's still kind of pretty as of now. And I don't think it's going to be the same come Sunday.
We got a massive cooler in Brennan's Toyota.
What's in your cooler, man? And you can get specific too.
Lots of NOS energy drinks, a couple Pedialites, and some water.
We prepared for the trip by adding a rack on the back so that we have supplies to get us through the 24 hours. We added a burrito cooker to the header.
I brought my Schmitty-built refrigerator. Man, because the first time I was here, it was brutal with the heat. So at least I can keep stuff cold now.
I'm gonna have a bunch of Liquid Death mountain water in that thing. Capri Sun, because that's the only real wheeler beverage that gets me through the day. I love it.
Lunchables, beef jerky.
Cooler, it's gonna be about 17 energy drinks, good couple waters.
I brought some dry foods to get me through lunch and dinner.
Definitely some snacks.
We brought water, Gatorade, Monster energy drinks.
A couple sandwiches and peanut butter and jellies. The essential stuff for being out in the woods 24 hours.
A couple granola bars.
Burritos.
A couple Pop-Tarts. Anything for a little bit of sugar just to keep you going for the night.
Gearhead coffee in the morning is what we're gonna have. It's not gonna live in my cooler, but it's gonna get me through the morning stage for sure. What I think about the rules in the pink helmet, I mean, I'm the one that made those rules, so there's not a whole lot to say about it.
It's kind of funny, my helmet is a pink helmet.
I personally love the rules of the pink helmet.
I like pink though, so I'm not above wearing the helmet.
I had to wear it a few times last time with the JK. I do not plan on wearing it any with the Rock Bouncer, but it's just a fun dynamic when people have to winch or work on something. It's just fun to have to pass that around.
So with the pink helmet, I have no issue with it. I would rock it.
The good thing for them is it's not 100 degrees here. It's gonna be nice and cool, so at least you won't get a sweaty helmet.
Last time I came into this, I probably wore it more than anybody else.
It'd be pretty sweet to have a leaf sprung Toyota on 37s, not have a pink helmet, but we're gonna see how it's gonna go.
I love the idea of people having to wear it because they get uncomfortable.
Kind of gives you a little more ambition to try a little bit harder, try and keep away from wearing it. But I think it's all fun and games, so if you gotta wear it, it is what it is.
We brought spare axle shafts, spare drive shafts, U-joints, spare computer.
Pretty much brought every spare part I could think of. I brought a spare power steering pump, pulley puller, spare axle shafts, spare drive lines.
The only thing I brought with me is I brought a spare third member.
We brought a lot of the hard parts in case we blow something up because we want to finish this thing.
Spare wheel bearings.
Spare shocks.
The only thing I didn't bring was a spare set of gears.
Honestly, I didn't bring a whole lot. I brought a spare tire just because I have it, never needed one in all these years that I've been running BF Goodrich tires. Still, I have one, so I brought it. If it's not for me, then maybe for somebody else.
Brought some spare axle shafts.
I bought a spare drive shaft just because I had it.
This thing should not break. It's built with very heavy duty parts. It's got a 550 horse LS3 motor in it, 14 bolt axles front and rear, 40 spline, like it should not break.
I think the only spare part I have is a 1350 U-joint if I do break a U-joint on drive shafts, which I have in the last couple of years of wheeling, I've never broke one.
Spare hubs, I got a spare propane tank just in case a valve messes up.
Didn't bring much spare parts. So I'm pretty close, 35 minutes from here. So if I needed something horrible, I'd run home. And my buddy's shop's about 15 minutes down the road with a full fab shop. So if we broke something, we could get it done fixed.
People don't realize the difficulty of 24 hours. Like, it's a challenge to wheel for 12 hours, but once it gets nightfall and you get them that 1 or 2 a.m. where most people will get to in a normal wheeling trip if you like to party at night, 2 o'clock till 5, 6 o'clock in the morning is a struggle for a lot of people.
So my strategy to last for the 24-hour hell and back is just wheel smart. I even left myself a note on the dash that says you got 24 hours, don't break it.
It's going to be very, very entertaining to see without all these guys' faces and stuff and how they react after 24 hours of not sleeping.
24 hours is a long time to go. After the first 10, you're probably going to be feeling it. And then once that midnight comes, it's going to take a little bit of effort to stay up.
I think our strategy is to get through the 24 hours without breaking. How we're going to do that, just wheeling really technical, taking up the trail guide's advice, follow the lines that they tell us to take.
I think this is a really unique event. There's not a lot of places where you get put to a challenge for 24 hours straight. I mean, anybody can go out and wheel tough trails, but doing 24 hours straight is something that I don't think anybody else is doing, and I think it's what makes this worth a watch.
We're pretty excited to be here and we're going to do our best to get through it.
I think it's just fun. This whole event is all about community and camaraderie and making it through America's toughest trails for 24 hours as a group. That's what it's about at the end of the day. All right guys, 24 Hallenbeck is about to kick off. It is Friday night now. Tomorrow morning we're going to start hitting the trails. All participants and drivers are here right now. The 24-hour mark starts by the time the rigs leave the parking lot.
Once a year, a group of hand-selected drivers take on the toughest trail ride of their lives. This time, deep in the dark woods of the northeastern United States.
He said drive and I drove straight into a tree.
Adrenaline's definitely in. I'm a little shaky.
Let's get through it, man.
Only the toughest will survive this hell. Body damage and complete mental exhaustion are guaranteed. This is the BF Goodrich Tires 24 Hellback Trail Challenge, presented by HP Tuners, brought to you by Flex, Rocks, and Rollovers.
Drowning, I'm off the deep end. Apparitions of all my demons. All my thoughts are committing treason. All alone, who gon' hear me screaming? Manifestations of my fears. Regrets that stretched out for light years. Can almost touch the light, homie, it's right there. Body free but trapped in my nightmares. Body free but trapped in my nightmares.